So welcome guys to our lesson number 5 of CRT 5 AM Model Full Forex course. Right? In today's lesson, we're going to talk about internal and external liquidity. Okay? So internal liquidity. What the fuck, man? Internal liquidity and external liquidity. Okay? So before we start, okay, make sure you have seen the lesson number 5 and all those lessons before. That's very important. And don't forget to hit that like button because I'm seeing you guys are not hitting that like button, and this is the only payment that you need to give me, okay, for make this content get to most people possible. Okay, so hit the like button, leave your comment. Okay, you can leave any comment that you like. I will answer all of your comments, okay, because I read all of your comments. And before we dive into the class, okay, don't forget to join the Discord because the Discord is very important. We have the community on Discord. So link is down below. Join our Discord. Okay, so that let's dive into the content. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand is the structures that we talk about in the last classes. Okay, so that boss and stuff shit. Okay, so in every structure you have what? You have highs and you have lows. Okay? And this highs and this lows generates what for us? If you see the last lesson, you're going to know this answer. The answer is liquidity. Okay? This highs and this lows generates liquidity from us. For us. Sorry. Okay. So what is external liquidity and internal liquidity? Okay? The first thing you need to understand is this structure, okay, we need to have, and I'm not going to deep on structure lesson right now, but this structure, okay, it needs to have something like this to validate our structure, okay, and see like what do you have to have? You have to have this turtle soup right here to validate a structure, okay. You once validate the structure, you only validate the structure once you have this turtle soup. Once you have a liquidity purge of internal liquidity, and you're going to learn what is internal and external. Okay, but once to do, I need to show you this. Okay, so let's continue like the drawings right here, like this. Okay, so once again, turtle soup. So what's the point here? You have this point as an external liquidity. Okay, this point who purged the internal liquidity and now break this high, it becomes external liquidity. Okay, and this high is external liquidity as well because like you not internal nothing right here. Okay, so you are external right here and now right here. This parts right here is easier to understand because let's say that's the outside part of the price of the graphic of the range. The outside part is easier. So here you have your external liquidity, okay, but the internal part of the price is a lot trickier because you have to have this turtle soup right here to consider this external. Because if you don't have the turtle soup, this liquidity right here, it's going to be what? It's going to be an internal liquidity. Okay, because it's in the internal part of this leg, okay, and this liquidity is going to serve us as liquidity for future turtle soup to move the price higher in this case. since we are in the bullish example right here. Okay, so here you have the first internal liquidity. You have a second internal liquidity, which is, and I'm gonna show you in a few seconds. Okay, let me draw my path right here. You have this internal liquidity right here. And you asking yourself, where is the internal liquidity? The internal liquidity we have here is this little guy, fair value gaps. Okay, and why fair value gaps is liquidity from us, and especially why fair value gaps is internal liquidity. Well, first thing, fair value gaps are internal liquidity because they are in the internal part of the movement. Okay, that's very easy. But the second part, the inverse fair value gaps, are liquidity because it's the same thing that happens in the manipulation. Okay, a lot of people want to go long from here, put your limit order right here, right, and put their stop loss right here, or something like that, because you don't have to predict what retail are doing. They are unpredictable. They are dumb and they are unpredictable. So you don't have to know what the fuck retail is doing, right? But we can assume, not for sure, obviously. They put their entry order right here and their stop right here. So you get a stop hunt right here, okay? So the fair value gaps work for us as internal liquidity, as this internal lows that we have here, right? And the external, okay, liquidities is this little guy here. Now let me just draw. It's easier. This guy is external, right? This is external. This is external, right? This, if this happens, just purge the fair value gap. It's not external liquidity. For this low turn into external liquidity, it needs to purge the internal low. Okay, like this. It needs to thorough soup something. Right here, they are not thorough soup anything. Right? He is just taking the fair value gap liquidity. That's fine. But for make this low right here external low, we need thorough soup again. Okay, and now we have external liquidity at this point, those points right here. Okay, so this is the external liquidities. Okay, and I will mark with the circle the internal liquidities. Internal liquidities, internal liquidities, internal liquidities, all here. Okay, and if you have something like this right here, this is internal liquidity as well. Didn't purge anything to make this external liquidity. Okay, so I guess it's this, guys. This is my whole point of view for external liquidity and internal liquidity. And for this lesson, it's all you need to know for that. Okay, this is going to make more sense when you put all the pieces together. Okay, and if you're liking this content so far, okay, this bunch of videos, this series of videos, this full smart money course is not even a CRT course, because we talk a lot about other stuffs as well that I need to teach you to you learn correctly and properly the CRT. You need to pass all those smart money content before you dive into the CRT content, right? And if you're liking this, just leave a comment, okay? For I know you to liking this type of content, right? So I want to go to your charts right now, right? And spot all those external, internal liquidities. Like right here, what do you have here? You see something? Because like I can see clearly a lot of things right here, right? Like this, you have here, this is external right now because broke it right here and purged this liquidity, right? This is internal liquidity. Didn't purge right here, right? This here, external liquidity. Purge right here, broke right here. Okay, this is internal liquidity, right? This is going to be external because purge all those lows right here. And those lows are external as well because purge here. So once you have a purge and you have a break of structure, this became your external. If you don't have a purge like this is going to be internal. This is going to be internal. Okay? This is going to be internal. Right? This is going to be internal. And all the meaning of the internal liquidities is to provide liquidities for beginning an external movement like this, right? So I hope this video made this whole point clear about structures and internal and external liquidities, right? So I'm going to recap that we have internal liquidities. We have our first internal liquidity, which is highs and lows. Internals, obviously, right? And the second, and I'm going to put right here, it's fair value gaps as the internal liquidity. And the external liquidity, it's what? Highs and lows who purge the liquidity. Total soup, internal liquidity, right? So sleep on that content, digest all of it, okay? And be prepared for the next lesson. See you guys around. Bye bye.